my name's Julie. Thanks for joining me today. And in this video, I have an unboxing and review of some new pens that I picked up from Amazon. This is the pack of 20 STABILO 68 felt tip pens. I couldn't find a video about this particular set, so I'm going to talk about the packaging, the colours you get in this set, and of course how they perform on different types of paper. These are completely new to me, so I'll be giving my honest thoughts at the end of the video once I've tried them out. This video is not sponsored in any way. I was totally influenced by Mary Ellen, Planning with Bumble, who used these in a recent video, and it piqued my interest, so I wanted to try them out. My go-to for felt tip pens is usually the Papermate Flares, so I'm very interested to see how these compare with those. The packaging for these is rather interesting. It took me a while to figure out how to get this open. It's got a little circle here that's a button that you push, and then hopefully the plastic lid comes off. Then you can, I think, just open up the set like this. If you're someone who likes to get all the colours of a particular pen, then this is not the set for you. As well as this set of 20, they also have a set of 30. Those included neon colours, and I'm not a particular fan of neon, and I didn't want to spend a lot of money. So although it's usually more expensive to buy a smaller amount, it actually worked out as cheaper per pen to buy this set than any of the others. You can also get a lovely tin which has 50 of the colours, but if you want all 65 colours, which I believe includes pastel shades, neon shades and possibly metallic shades too, then that's available for around £55. When you're shopping on Amazon, prices always seem to go up and down, and I must have got these at a good time because they worked out at about 80p a pen, whereas if you buy the whole set, it's about 84p a pen, not much difference. But I really only wanted to try these to see how I like them. I do actually quite like this packaging because if I want to keep them in a pencil case, I can just close it and put them in a pencil case, or I can have them out on my desk, and I'm assuming I can even have them standing up, which is quite cool. As felt pens, people mainly buy these for colouring. My main use for them would be to write in my journal or planner, because sometimes I like to use colour instead of just black. This is not my first time using STABILO pens. As a teacher, I use STABILO highlighters all the time, and also the STABILO 88 fine point pens. This pack seems to have a good range of colours. We've got quite a lot of blues. All of the essential colours are there. Personally, as a fan of purple, I would probably prefer a few more shades of purple. Let's get on with the swatching now. And one of the things I'm looking for is how well the colours on the paper match with the colours on the barrel of the pen. And also, of course, how they perform on different types of planner paper. I've made myself a little swatch chart. I was going to draw boxes myself, but I had this stencil from Oopsie-Daisy with this corner shape and thought that would be perfect as a little area to try out the pens. These are water-based ink pens. The cap fits onto the end of the pen if you want to put it there. And it says on the packet that you can leave the cap off for up to 24 hours before the pen dries out. Generally, I don't leave the caps off, but accidents do happen. My initial impression of the black is it's a nice dark black. As a pen to hold, I don't like it as much as the Papermate Flare. The Papermate Flare has a nice shaped barrel, whereas this is very thin. But let's see what the colours look like. I'm at a little bit of a loss as to how to swatch them. The pens don't have names as such, but they do have individual numbers, but there's quite a spread of those. So I think I will do similar colours together. record the number and give the colour a name based on my opinion of what that colour is. I'm not great at naming colours, so I'll just do my best. I'm using Plannything dot grid paper because it's the highest quality paper I have at 160 GSM, but I will also try the pens out and see how they write on Live Love Posh paper and Happy Planner paper too. Now let's start the pen swatch. So that's all the colours. I think we've got a really good selection. There's a clear difference between all the blues. I'm not quite sure about my names because when I did this one, I thought maybe that one's more teal and that one's more ocean. So I'm not sure about the names, but a really lovely variety of colours. They were lovely to colour with, really smooth. They have a 1mm line width when writing. And although my writing is fine with them, I definitely prefer Papermate Flair and the way the barrel is shaped. The colour on the barrels is very accurate. This is the apple. And if you look at the two reds, you can clearly see the difference both in the barrels and on the paper. A couple of times when I put the cap back on, I hadn't actually clicked it in place and I found that I had left it off. So you do have to be careful that when you push it down, you do hear that click and it's on properly. The orange looks a little bit neon to me, very bright. Reminds me of their orange highlighter, but I don't think really I'm missing any vital colours that I would need in my planning. So I'm very happy with the selection that I got. Obviously, if you wanted more colours, you can buy the larger sets. Let's just check for bleed through on the back. Shouldn't be any. You can see my attempt to draw squares before I found the stencil, and I really preferred that as I wasn't getting the squares very straight. But there's no bleed through at all on this Plannything 160 GSM dot grid paper. So really happy with that. Let's try some Live Love Posh dot grid paper. This I believe is 140 GSM. So let's see how it performs with the black. No bleed through at all. I wouldn't expect there to be, but let's try some Happy Planner paper now. When I've done pen tests in the past on Happy Planner paper, I've had different results depending on where I got the paper from. This is some mini note paper, which didn't perform very well when I was testing the Pigma Microns in a video a few years back. Lovely and smooth, I have to say, to write with. So you can see it ghosting through, but no bleed through on that. I didn't test for smearing on the others, but we don't seem to have any smudging, so that's good. But let's also try a piece of paper from an actual planner. I know this is 2021. And opinions vary on whether Happy Planner have changed their paper quality over the years. I definitely don't think it's as good as when I started with Happy Planner in 2018. But I think for the last couple of years it's been fairly consistent. Let's give it a try. Can see it through, but no bleed through. So I think these pens will be able to be used in my planner. Sometimes it's just nice to write words in a different colour or have words standing out in capitals or shaded. And this gives me another option to the Papermate flares I already have. I don't use a lot of pens, so I think I'll be happy with the colours that this set contains. I think I'll keep them in this packaging for now. They can be a little bit fiddly to get back into the slots, but I do like how you can have them standing on your desk. And I might just grab my pencil case and see if they will fit inside if I wanted them to. I have a couple of these pencil cases that I picked up on Amazon a few years ago because I love unicorns. And this one says, "Be a unicorn in a field of horses." I usually keep my black and white pens in one and my colour pens in the other, but I could always buy a new one. And they're just black on the inside, so it doesn't matter too much if your pens leak. Although I do see that I've got a little bit of black on the outside there. I've also got my little llama Happy Planner pin that they sent me once free because there was a problem with one of my orders. So let's just see if the pens will fit in here. I think it might be a bit tricky. Yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit of a squeeze, but they do just fit if I wanted to keep them in a pencil case. But I probably won't. I'll probably just keep them out in the set that they're in. I hope this review has been helpful for you. If you haven't seen this particular set and were thinking of just dipping your toes into the STABILO pens, I'm not too sure about the plastic lid, whether I will keep popping that on and off and how fiddly that is. Not too fiddly. And I'm planning to do some colour swatching in my dot grid journal. I did it once before where I swatched all the blue pens I had and all the greens, so that when I'm looking for a particular colour, I know exactly which shade I can grab. And now I've got some new pens, I need to update that. What's my verdict on these? At around 80p a pen, they're good value for money. Really smooth to write with, love the colours. I've heard good things about them and that they are quite long lasting. Although I haven't had any issues with my Papermate flares, which I've had for 3 or 4 years now. Although some of my most used ones are beginning to wear out. The main difference for me is the feel of the pen, but that's not a deal breaker. Would I buy more of these to get other colours? I'm not sure that I'd need any, but I'd be interested in checking out the pastel colours. But for now, I'm really happy with my purchase. If you're in the UK, this set was under £17 from Amazon, where you can also find the other sets. Let me know in the comments what your favourite colour pens are. Are you a fan of STABILO? A Papermate Flare fan? A Crayola Super Tips girl? Or do you have something new you can recommend me to try? If you're not subscribed to my channel and like creative plan with me's and lots of tips, then do subscribe and click that notifications bell so you can find out when my next video is out. Hope your week's going well. Happy planning, take care and see you soon.